wanna show love.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Show Love. You got your host here, L.U.V.Jones, back at it. It's your boy Drake. We got DeAjai, you know what I'm saying, returning. Um, you feel me? Just real quick one to shout out Russ, this honor the gift. You feel me? You know, he's building 180 affordable housing units for residents of South Central. So yeah, shout out to Russ.
Yes, sir. Russell Westbrook doing big things out there with, well, it's like 4 of them that's from California, right? Him, Harden, Kawhi, and Paul. Yeah, it's 4 of them
Yeah,
right there.
yeah. Real, and then probably is some more on the bench, bro. I don't know for sure, but yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, had we heard a few years ago, like back in like 2017, that them 4 was gonna be on the same team, we would have automatically said Chip.
Yeah, no question, bro. That's
Look,
MVP Russ, MVP Harden, Finals MVP Kawhi. Yeah, no,
Yeah, Chip.
that's crazy, bro. But yeah, man, shout out. You know, I can't really root for them. You feel me? They the other team in LA, but you feel me? I appreciate what he doing for his community though. Shout out to Russ.
For sure, man.
Yeah. Speaking of
that
basketball,
segue you.
Oh, go ahead.
Nah, that segue you right. That basketball topic off rip. It kind of just bring you into what you was talking about before we got on.
Yeah. So who y'all think gonna win the tournament in March Madness? You know, it's March. Getting stuff started with college basketball, man.
Man, I don't really like outside of, I ain't even gonna lie, like outside of women's NCAA basketball, I don't watch college ball. Cause right now the women's hooping, like the women hooping, like they're hooping right now. So I've been tuned into them.
For sure.
But as far as, I'm just gonna automatically go with my team who I like in college, and that's Kentucky. Like most of my favorite players are Kentucky players anyway.
Facts.
So I'm just gonna go with Kentucky. But if I had to choose anybody outside of that, I'd probably go like Villanova or somebody.
I can't choose Villanova. They knocked us out a couple years ago. For those who don't know, I'm a UNC fan. You feel me? You feel me? Big UNC. You feel me? The GOAT himself walked the halls, walked the campus. You know,
Can't argue that. That's a fact. He
That's
did. He did. You got that one.
Yeah, I ain't got too much else to say. You feel me? MJ himself. You feel me? But
is that who you rocking with, UNC?
Who? I would say, yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, I got my boys winning the chip. You feel me? But what's the top 25 list?
Let's see. Let's throw this up real quick.
All right, Houston number 1. I haven't watched it all season. Okay, but I'm glad other teams that aren't usually in the top 25 or being mentioned at the top. I'm glad now they're getting a chance to show off their programs and stuff. You feel me? Because unless for the past couple of years I haven't been tuned in, but I haven't seen Houston in the top 25. But
yeah,
yeah, they've been nice. Houston been putting out a quality product these last few years. That Samson era, father and son, they out there doing big things. So and they produce the pros.
So who they got? Like, do you know like offhand who Houston might have produced to the NBA or maybe even the G League Ignite?
It's a good question, actually.
I know they had.
I know that they got last year. Marcus Sasser, he came out of Houston. Marcus Sasser is a dog. He getting league minutes right now. And Marcus Sasser, he just finished his year last year. He playing, if I'm not mistaken, for the Pistons. So a lot of people will say, okay, he's playing for a lesser team. So, we're not going to give him enough regard. But Marcus Sasser in college last year, before he declared to come back for his final year, he had put up not great, but a very solid NBA combine performance. So people were excited about him coming back for college. came back, had a solid year. His draft stock didn't necessarily reflect that, but he went to the league and he's immediately getting playing time. So that just kind of goes to show that, like, even if you're somebody that's not as well known in college, or Marcus Sasser, who was well known, you might not be as well represented or well perceived going into the draft. If you can play, you can play. Houston produces guys that can play. They got a guard right now named Jamal Sheed. If you ask me, he's one of the best guards. Not even ask me, he is one of the best guards in America. He's going to be an All-American this year. RJ, that played for UNC, RJ Davis, he'll also be an All-American this year. A guy who I felt like going into this season would be one of the best guards in America. And Drake, something you spoke about the comparison between the men and women's side. I've gotten into a lot of conversations about this. I don't think the men's product is bad right now. I think what we're getting to see is more popularity in the women's game than we've ever seen, and it's making it exciting. It's bringing eyes to it because it's new. We haven't seen it. And in a society, or not in a society, but in a time where we're constantly looking for something that's new and fresh, that's what the women's college game is providing. But what I'm starting to see is that same lack of ability to name star players on the men's side. Once you get past the Caitlin Clarks and the Flaw-Jays and the top stars on the women's side, the story is pretty much the same. I'm seeing people that are struggling to name 10 stars on either side. So I'm noticing is really what the media is putting in our faces, and they're putting in our faces what we're responding to. So shout out to the women's game, especially, being in a different position now than they ever have been, even before when they had stars like your Brittany Grinders, your Maya Moores. Like, they've had stars. It's nothing new. So the recognition they're getting now, even if it means that people are going to perceive the men's game a little bit different, it's a sacrifice that, might just be necessary to keep elevating that women's game. So I won't say that the men's product has been bad, but I will say that the women have been doing their thing, and I've been a little bit long-winded on mine. So I'm going to quickly say my prediction is UConn. I'm going with the experience they got. I like Cam Spencer as a scoring guard. I think he could be an NCAA tournament guy that does big things. And Donovan Klingman, their big man, who's a sophomore, I think he's also really talented. Don't sleep on UNC, though. I'm a Duke fan myself, but UNC's got age. They've got size. Armando might not be the biggest big in the world, but he's one of the better ACC bigs that we've seen in our lifetime. And I'll stand by that. And yeah, they're gonna make a tournament run for sure. So UConn or UNC, but if I had to put my money behind anybody, I would go UConn.
Yeah, UNC and Duke both in the top 10 though. So like anybody in the top 10, man, you can't necessarily sleep on them like too much. Like it can be one game, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that one game you get knocked off, but everybody got a chance. Like everybody got a chance. We all seen Gonzaga go further too than what they were supposed to like a few years ago. So it's anybody's game. Like somebody can have a bad game. You had that one bad game, it's a wrap, bro.
Thanks. That's what it is, man.
I'm going with UNC every year. We always got a chance. But speaking of March Madness, bro, that song Future made I think it's almost about 10 years old. He might have made it in 2014 or 2015, but that's still a legendary song. Like each year, I mean, I listen to it, on the regular, but especially in March, you feel me? I think that's one of the most legendary songs there is, bro. Like that's a top 5 Future song for sure. Like,
yeah. Like the beat drop, like the lead up to the beat drop is crazy. Like it instantly makes you want to like go crazy when the beat drop.
It's a top 5 Future song for sure. Honestly, it's probably it's a legendary song in general. Like I feel like because when you think about it, like that song really was it still is an anthem. Like, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, like, you feel me? That song you throw on right now, people are gonna be turned right now to this day. Like people gonna be lit. Like,
and it reaches all demographics too. Like it's not just for us. Like it's for everybody. Like they don't play that joint so much. Like everybody know March Madness.
Yeah. Everybody know it. Like if I'm hooping right now, that's the only song I'll run out to. You feel me? Like that's the only song I'll run out to. You know what I'm saying?
I think March Madness was one of them lightning in the bottle moments. I wonder when he was recording it, he even knew what he was doing, or if he just felt like this was another hard song. You know, did he had his plan in mind? Did he know that this was gonna be a song that was play? I mean, he called it March Madness, you know. Yeah. So you gotta know with your level of fame, and he wasn't as famous as he is now in 2015, but he was still that dude. So you have to know, if I drop a song called March Madness and it goes, the likelihood of this being a yearly staple. I mean, Mariah Carey showed us what it could be with her Christmas anthem. And I'm not saying they're the same, but we've seen what the longevity in a song can do for an artist. So I find it hard to believe that when he was making that, as hard as it was, and the title that he gave it, like to think that he never thought that this was going to be what it is. I don't know. I find it hard to believe. So not only would I call it legendary, I'd almost say like this was curated. Like, yeah, it's very, to me, it's hard to imagine an artist deciding in his head, I'm going to go, or in her head, I'm going to go make a legendary song, and then they go and do it. But
I feel
this
like
almost seems like one of them cases where an artist was like, I'm going to go do something legendary here, and then they actually executed on it. And if that's the story behind it, or if that can be added to the story, then yeah, that solidifies this song's legendary status to me, because like you knew what you were doing when you did it.
nah, no cap. Like I feel like when an artist of his level, like I feel like they know exactly what they're doing. Because even on a smaller scale, like they don't just go to the studio. Like sometimes, like I feel like they take warm up shots, meaning that they'll just do a song just to get in the flow and the rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Cause they say they be in the studio all day long. So not every song is a banger, a hit. It's not gonna be that. It's just a throwaway. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like when you coming up with something like that, like it's a genius to it, bro. And I ain't just saying that because it's my favorite artist, but like anybody who make hits consistently, bro, it's something that it's a formula to it. You feel me? But
100%, bro.
yeah, song of that magnitude, like bro, that's something that he'll like, nah, this the one, and it was.
Bro had a great and outstanding year that year, bro. We got Dirty Sprite 2. We got 56. We got 56 Nights. We also got Beast Mode that came out at the same time. And then at the very end, what a time to be alive with Drake, bro. 2015, top tier year for Future, bro.
I did not know that was all 1 year. I had no idea 2015 he had all 4 of those. So you know how they talk about like the rap, like the year the rapper, like how people say Schoolboy Q, he had his year, like I think it was 2016. They say like with Schoolboy Q's year, whichever year they say it was. 2015 got to go to Future. No way. Who else could it go to if not there? That's a topic for a whole other day.
You would have to you would almost have to put him and Drake like right here because they were both like, doing this all year.
Yeah, and I feel like you know what I'm saying. To me, when I hear people talk about Future, I feel like in a sense they try to just put him in a box. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he only talks about this. He only talks about drugs and all that, bro. But like the body of work that he has put out and the quality of that body of work, not too many people can even say they even had a year like that. They even had projects in their whole catalog that he dropped in that 1 year, let alone like, 2016, he came out, I think, Purple Rain, the mixtape, Purple Rain, he came out with that. And then I think he dropped Evil in 2016. Then he dropped 3 projects in 2017. You know what I'm saying?
I had to say, anything leading up to the Hendrix year was the calm before the storm. Like,
yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? Hendrix, to me, to this day, best album, like my favorite album of all time, like the Hendrix album. This is probably the best album I've heard. You know what I'm saying? I still remember that day, bro. He dropped it. He dropped Hendrix. I mean, he dropped Future, and then the next week, you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing, oh, he about to drop another album. I'm like, bro, no, bro. No, he's not. Then he dropped Hendrix. I'm on the bus. I'm listening to this. I'm like, bro, I wish everybody on the bus just shut up, bro. Like, bro, he just dropped. And at the time, I didn't understand the magnitude of the album. I didn't know that was gonna be the album. You know what I'm saying? The album. You feel me?
Yeah.
But that's hard, bro.
Because
But
after Dirty Sprite 2, who was to expect that you could even drop another tape that you could compare to that? Because not to say that I prefer Hendrix, but they both legendary bodies of work. So if anybody lean either way, I don't got a complaint. Like if you lean there, like either way, I'm cool with it. Before we got on cam or before we started recording, Mike and I were talking about just some of the conversations we had about Future back in school, post school, and I done always said that Mike's easily got the largest collection of unreleased Future out of anybody I know. And so we used to sit in the room and listen to some of the unreleased Future songs. I remember there was one time we was talking about Hendrix, and I got a hard opinion I stand on. I feel like if you took the song Red Light off of Beast Mode 2 and then you made
I
it the
remember you said,
outro for Hendrix, I think that would be the most perfect outro in rap. Like I think Red Light is such an insightful song and it's so like dark in its meaning. Putting that at the end of a dark album like Hendrix, like that'd be legendary, man. But I
yeah,
didn't want to spend too long on that. I wanted to make sure that I got that out. But hey, yeah, to give you my short answer for sure, March Madness is definitely a legendary Future song.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, bro. But yeah, we still on the going back to the topic of college. What advice would you all give to an incoming college student?
I'll tell you one thing. If you in college right now and you getting some bread from your refund check, please, by all means, go start a business, bro. Go do something. Like, go do something. Make that money work for you, bro. There's no reason why you should have 3 bands in your pocket, and the only thing you're doing is going to the liquor store every week, bro. There's nothing that you like. There's no reason for that. Like, go use that money. Go make it work for you. Because by the time you get out and you get most people what like 24, 23, 24 when they get out of college, you will have something that you can stand on, so you don't even got to worry about that internship. Or if you did get that internship, now you got that job and you got that business to
Yeah.
like stuff accountable. You don't got to go back to mom's crib or dad's crib. Like, you got something to stand on. You got a good foundation. So that's all I got to tell people who in college right now. Like, go do that.
No, for real.
Would you have like not to cut you off, Mike? I just wanted to ask a follow up real quick to that one. Would you have like, well, let's say you get that 3K in your pocket, like for somebody who may have the money but just don't have no idea where they would start with it? Is there any ideas that you like pitch to somebody to maybe take their own interest and try to align it with, something they could go and try?
Absolutely. Like, well, from one of our good friends out at We Invest in TV, shout out to Wesley Earp. Like, he
Earth,
put me on he put me on to some dividends, like dividend stocks that I
Yep.
can invest in. So just making sure you investing in something that's gonna pay you back something either every quarter or either at the end of every year. So you at least get some return on your bread instead of putting it in a savings account that's not even gonna get you 2% back every year.
Facts. That's a
yeah.
good one. That's a good one.
And I'll say to that question, um, bro, you definitely want to invest in something that you can always get some bread from. You feel me? Service based, bro. You can be the dorm barber, bro. You feel me?
Facts.
You can, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah, you could
You
you
can
can
take
charge
people
people.
trash out, bro. Like,
Yeah,
everybody
take
got
people
trash in their
trash
doors. Don't
out.
nobody want to go down to the trash, to the dump to go take their trash out, bro.
Exactly.
Go start picking up everybody trash from the joint and then get them to pay you like $5 a bag.
Yeah.
Most people got like at least 3 bags of trash in their room, bro.
Nah, no
So
cap.
That's real, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I'm when you and Ramon was staying on the hot side of campus. I can't tell you how many times AP cut my hair or cut one of my boys' hair when y'all was staying down there. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Most
Yeah.
definitely. Shout out, man. Long live.
Yeah. RPAP, man. You feel me? He used to give me cuts, bro. You feel me? Bro, and to that point, like, yeah, bro, you clean. No, probably guys probably don't want to do this, but you can clean somebody's room for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can add you can add on another level to just taking out trash wherever you want, bro. But it's ways, you feel me? People
yeah,
can make bread, but I would say like, um, bro, the advice I give to a college student would be, um, when you going into college, first of all, pick a major that's going to be sustained in the future. You know what I'm saying? Um,
That's real.
that's the first and foremost. I would say, and if you're not getting a lot of college acceptance offers, I would say start off undecided, because then you have, I feel like you have a better chance of getting into the school you want to, instead of choosing a hard major. Because, you know, like for example, I chose computer science. I only had two schools accept me, NCCU and I want to say Wingate University. You know, I applied. You know, I think I don't know if they still doing this, but I know they had like free college application week or something.
Yep.
If
Yeah,
I'm
for
not
sure. They
mistaken.
still got that joint.
Okay, so yeah, I applied to plethora of schools. You feel me? And I had three application. I had three fee waivers for other schools outside of that week. You know what I'm saying? Even though I used about five, cause my counselor ain't know, but I used about five. But anyway, um, yeah, just that's the first and foremost I would say, and then you can choose your major when you get to school. And then
For
number
sure.
two, like go in there, be yourself, because it's an easy chance you can go to college and create a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of
Bro.
people ain't gonna know who you are, your background. You know what I'm saying? So it's a
Yep.
lot of people who go into college and creating a character, I should say, other than themselves. And then, you know, hey, sometimes it works good for people, but oftentimes, you know, it gets exposed,
Yeah, it's
and
hard to maintain.
yeah, it's hard to maintain something you're not. You know what I'm saying? And I seen it
Yep.
firsthand. And you know, and I left school early, but if I could make that decision again, 10 times out of 10, I would stay. Not just because of the degree per se, but college is the best place for networking. It's the
Yep.
best place for any resources that you need, as far as if you don't know what career you want to go to, is just career fairs right on campus for free. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be somebody you can talk to about their major. It's always gonna be somebody that can that's doing something creative. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know what you want to do, you're in the absolute best place to find something that you enjoy. You feel me? Um, so that's the advice I would get. Like, I was one of the people that said college, I would say is a scam, but it's only a scam if you're not using it right.
Yeah.
You, you got to use college, or college is going to use you. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to, if you go out of college with no, you come out of college with no connections. If you come out of college um, with nothing to show for. Yes, you have a degree, but you don't have any connections. You haven't spoken with anyone that's in that field. You know, I could go on, but yeah, it's a lot that you can do in college, and that's why I would recommend that. It's the funnest time of your life, and it could go really well. You know what I'm saying? But you have to go into college with a game plan.
Hey
Man.
man, everything y'all said. First of all, I want to co-sign because it ain't nothing neither of y'all said that I would disagree with. And the only thing I'd even enhance on is Mike's point about not creating a whole other person. Also, keep in mind you 17, 18 years old. You're not grown. So whoever
Yeah,
you are, whoever you're going to be, is not permanent. So if you do undergo changes in college, if you do find more about yourself that makes you feel more comfortable as an adult than you felt like you were in high school, don't feel like a sellout. Don't feel like you're faking. Don't develop some self-imposed imposter syndrome. Give yourself time to grow, and you give yourself time to become the person that you are meant to be or that you feel most comfortable being. But don't allow that to have you making actions that now make other people around you feel like they no longer want to be around you because of negative energy.
right.
Not because they don't like the person you becoming. If they don't want to be around you because they don't like the person you becoming, maybe the two just don't align, and that's cool. But if the energy you're creating from whatever persona you're putting out, if it's a negative energy that's being put out, it's probably an inauthentic persona that you're putting on. So you might want to step away from that, not because people don't like you, but because you probably don't like you. And that's the first thing you want to make sure you hone in on. As far as finishing school, the thing that they tell you through high school, ain't nobody gonna hold your hand when you get there. Nobody is gonna beg you to finish. I'm grateful for North Carolina State School because we had admin at that school that if they weren't on me and they didn't make sure certain things happened, I probably wouldn't finish. I had to get in and get right with some people at the HBCU that gave me the degree I have, and they were the reasons that I got to where I got. So that would be one of my first pieces of advice. Know who you are as a person and what you need as far as encouragement is concerned. If you know you're not the person in high school that's coming home, studying every day, you're not looking over notes like that, you're not really the most attentive in class, don't pick some hard university because all your friends is going there.
Yeah.
Go to some visits, get with a program or get with a staff that you know is going to cater to your learning style, or you can adjust your learning style to best fit what they're doing at the school. Like y'all
Yeah.
talked about earlier, pick a major that makes sense, but pick a major that you've seen yield money. And I hate to
Yeah.
say it like that but it is just the fact. If
That's
you're gonna pay
true.
off
Yeah.
college, pick something you've seen people get paid off of. I love passion projects, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. I love all of that, but pick something that's gonna pay you because you
Yeah.
can do what you're passionate about on top of your 9 to 5 job. Like, don't just think because you get a 9 to 5 or because you're committing to college to work a 9 to 5 that you can no longer focus on your passion. You can still you need money to invest in whatever passion that is. So I'll end on this.
Hmm.
The reason I'm grateful that I went to college is because of the work or lack thereof that I have to do now that I'm finished.
Hmm.
They told me that if you work hard while you're there, whatever job you do or whatever career you do, if you pick the right one for you, you won't have to work hard no more. And I'm grateful to say that because of the fact that I was able to network while I was there and get the piece of paper that'll allow me in those interviews when they come up, the jobs that I've been able to have post college have not stressed me out. I'm not under physical duress. I don't wake up in the morning like, man, I got to go to work. So I owe my career situation to finishing school. And if I wouldn't have finished school, they wouldn't have even interviewed me for the job I have now. So school ain't the end all be all. And I'll never tell a kid that you can't be successful without it because truth be told, I got friends that didn't graduate that's making more than me right now. So you can be successful without it. But if you graduate from high school and you don't know what you're going to do, and your grades are good enough to go to college, and you have the financial means to make it work, think about yourself down the line. That's all I'm saying. Just think about what you want for your life down the line, and that might be a decision you want to make. But don't go and get kicked out. Don't go and get kicked out because I almost did, and that would have been one of the biggest regrets of my life was going and getting kicked out. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna end it.
And to that point, I just wanted to add, yeah, because regardless, if you leave school early or if you don't decide to go to college, you're grown now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're gonna have bills. You know what I'm saying? You know, school can afford you the opportunity to find yourself. It's hard to find yourself when you're working 8 to 10 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? You come home tired. You gotta cook. You gotta clean. You gotta make sure. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. You know, when I touching on this briefly, I left school and reality kicked me in my face. You know what I'm saying? I found out the hard way because I was just my mind was just so clouded and I wasn't happy with what I thought I was becoming, but um I didn't appreciate just life in general, just me growing and becoming a man, just me learning. I just felt like um if I wasn't hitting everything at a high level, it was failure. And so that's why I was just like, man, forget it. I'm gonna leave school. You know what I'm saying? So don't be like that. Don't think because you're not peaking, I should say, that you're failing. No, long as it's on an incline. Sometimes an incline isn't straight. Sometimes an incline is, you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
But long as it's going up, that's what matters. And so, like, luckily, I've been afforded opportunities because a lot of people don't know this. I had hella jobs. So I've had experience in a lot of areas, and you know what I'm saying. And I network, and I'm still, you know, I'm always a phone call away when somebody needs something or X, Y, Z. Like I made connections while I'm in school. These connections that you all see on this camera or this podcast right now is from school. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I just want to say that. But
I want to touch on something real quick also.
mhm,
Like for those of you who may not have the financial means or may not even know exactly what you want to do as far as going to a university, going to a 2 year college is not a bad thing either.
right.
Yes, facts.
I have, and actually, this is going to lead us to our next point. Like my 2 year degree is in graphic design. Like reason why I'm here connected with these people right now is because I got a graphic design degree. Like I end up doing something that can transfer into different sectors of business. Like everybody need a graphic designer, bro. You can't create a brand without a graphic designer. It just don't work.
Hmm.
Um, but
Highly
just being
correct.
able to find another way to get an education, a 2 year degree is, hey, bro, you can do a lot with a 2 year degree. As long as you know what you're doing and you got the drive to work and get it out, quote unquote, get it out the mud, bro. It can be a little harder than with a 4 year degree. But if you know what you're doing and have a plan, it's easy, bro. It's easy.
And they can't
Blind.
take knowledge away from you at all.
Yes,
Period.
sir.
Whether it's a 2 year or a 4 year degree, they can't take it away from you,
They
man. I
can't
know
take.
things right now that people don't like, that people who walking on the street just don't know. And that's just off 2 years. Imagine if I would have did 4 years and another like type of degree, then I would still know. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you can get a lot from a 2 year degree.
Yeah.
definitely, bro.
And you know, earlier, you know, touching on the subject of finding finding your finding something that you enjoy doing in school.
Mhm.
It's important to have hobbies and doing something that you love and enjoy, you know, outside of a 9 to 5, outside of the money, because you need something to fund the hobby.
Yep.
And you know, in school, I would say I messed up because I didn't find a hobby because I was too busy chasing a bag, doing, and that's not wrong, but I was chasing a get rich fast bag, which is draining, which it doesn't
Yeah.
yield actual results. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I was
Unrealistic.
unrealistic results. I was falling for those traps. And it's gonna be people on college campuses because they we are in a generation to where we want generational wealth quickly with no work, with at least amount of work as possible. But it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, unless you have a 50-inch vertical, or unless you have vocals like Mariah Carey, Beyonce, um, unless you got handles like Kyrie, or you can shoot as far back as Steph and Dame, bro. That, and they put in thousands and thousands of hours of work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that notion of getting rich quick, it drained me, and it left me with a void that I'm still trying to fill right now. This is the year I'm going to find hobbies and find something I love and enjoy, because last year hit me hard, and I want and I didn't have an outlet. I didn't have something that I just enjoyed. I don't think video games is a hobby for me, you know, because um, it's just something to pass time for me, you know. But I feel like that's so important, and the best time to do it is in college because you're with other people who are trying to figure out the same thing, you know,
Yes,
whether
sir.
it's music, whether it's you play intramural sports, you feel me? It's so many ideas you all can do. Um, and that's something I'm trying to figure out at 24. You feel me? So I would recommend.
Facts.
Yeah, my fault was long-winded. I just had to get that out. That's
Yeah,
important.
you was all good, man. You was all Drake. You wanted to jump in, or you want me to go? Because
Um,
I'm this one might take a little bit longer for me, but I'm gonna try my best. I promise.
so I just got something real quick to say about like having a hobby. To Mike's point, you gotta have some bread to fund your hobby,
Yeah,
but find something that like really makes you want to wake up in the morning and you gotta like you almost gotta stop yourself from automatically doing it like as soon as you wake up because you might have other things that are more important at the time. Like for me, like out of nowhere, well, I'm not even gonna say out of nowhere. Like for me, ever since I was little, like in middle school, I've been wanting to make beats. It
Mm.
took me until I was 27 to start making beats and actually like sit down and want to do it. But that's always been a passion of mine. So like now I wake up in the morning like, oh, so I want to make a beat real quick. Oh, dang, I gotta go to work. I gotta go do this, that, and the third. But before I lay my head on that pillow, I'm gonna make me a beat because that just makes me happy. Like that's what I like to do. So
mm-hmm.
like find something to where like you literally want to wake up and do that in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You can hear it in your voice, man. That's what's important. Like you
passion.
hear somebody talk about their passion and that thing that really speaks to them, you can't even contain it. Like you don't even have control over your octave, your levels of excitement, because it's almost like when Tyrese was on Joe Budden podcast and he said when he was recording his last album, he just went up to the mic, opened up his shirt, and just let it all pour out. That's kind of like what it is when you speaking on the passion. You're not even talking, the passion is talking through you, right?
For
Yeah,
sure.
For myself, anybody who knows me well knows I'm obsessed with high school basketball. Like high school
yeah,
basketball is like that's my thing. Like back
yeah,
before I was able to get my system back on campus freshman year, I used to be a Mike and Ramon room playing a game just so I could play high school games on 2K to just give me
yeah.
that high school basketball feeling. The
No,
the
I remember.
ability to take prospects facts, and that was one of the starts of the friendship we got now. Just the fact that they ain't never turned me away. Anytime I wanted to come play the game before my system got on campus, whether it was his or Ramon's, yeah, come to the room. So
Yeah,
I love seeing these players progress through high school, go to college, and maybe even play professionally. When I was 19, I was blessed to start working for an accredited platform in North Carolina, and I've been working alongside two platforms now, Phenom Hoop Report and Prep Hoops, for the past 5 years now, evaluating high school basketball. And then in 2020, I got the opportunity to start coaching high school basketball. So I've been a
mm.
high school basketball coach since 2020. I just finished my fourth season, and
Shout out
I,
to you, bro.
I
That's
appreciate
That's
that,
tough.
all.
man.
Yeah, we ain't gonna gloss up with that, bro. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, not at all.
It's a
Yeah, that's
blessing,
tough.
man.
Yeah,
I can't even when I think about it, I can't even dwell on it too much because it's surreal to this day, even 4 years later. And I'm blessed to say 4 straight years as a conference champion for two separate schools. So things is going well, man.
that's
Um,
hard.
all I'm gonna say about that passion part, past what I've already said, is and it ties into the school piece. There's been no degree, no class, nothing I've learned that has benefited me more in my life than networking. Every job I've gotten, it was not because of the degree I had, it was because of the people I met at the previous job who could
Yeah,
refer me to the next one. Networking has paid more dividends than anything in the world. So for me, turning my hobby into just sitting at home watching high school basketball games, one morning I woke up, I wrote an article when they were still in high school. They was going in their senior year. It was a kid named Lucas Taylor. He was going to Heritage in North Carolina. And it was a kid named Terquavion Smith who was going to Farmville Central out in the 2-5. And I said when they were both going in their senior years, I said, I think both of these guys could go to the NBA. I remember when I said it about one of them, Terquavion Smith, a very renowned evaluator in this state, told me Terquavion Smith would do 1 year at NC State and transfer to Winston-Salem State by the time he was 20. He is in
mm,
the NBA now, playing for the Philadelphia 76ers after his second year at NC State. That was the
yeah,
very first time I was ever able to put my passion into writing. And that got
That's
me, it basically segued me to where I am now, writing those two random articles about those people. So I say all that to say for anybody watching, if there is any passion or hobby you have that is not making you no money, you just do it day to day, literally just get up and publicize it, whether it be through an article, through a video, through a podcast, take whatever passion you have and just put it in front of somebody else's face, because so as long as it's just you and that passion, that's all it'll ever be. It's just you and
yeah.
them. But I would have never thought that me just putting those thoughts on paper would have put legitimacy behind it. And now people actually care about what I have to say as far as the sport is concerned. So I'm eternally blessed to be in the position I am. I'll never take it for granted. And I hope that everybody can find something that feeds their spirit in the same way.
Man, shout out to you, bro. That's
That's
hard,
a
bro.
word, bro. That is a word. That's what I
No,
like.
no
That's
cap,
the
bro.
stuff I like to hear, bro.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, man. I really do. I really
no,
do.
no cap, bro. Like, no cap. DeAjai used to hit me, bro. Like, bro, what you on, bro? I'm about to. Can I pull up? I'm like, yeah, I already know. I ain't even playing the game right now. Like, bro. He'll get
Right.
on my GM. Just he'll create his own league, bro. We'll just get in there. We all vibing, bro. Just chilling, bro. Like, I ain't playing the game. Yeah, pull up, bro. It's whatever. You feel me? Easy
Always
coming
been
in.
real.
Yeah. So nah, just seeing it coming to fruition, bro. Just knowing you that long, bro. Like, bro, that's a blessing, bro, and it's a testament to who you are, bro. So yeah, shout out to you, bro. And
Salute both y'all, man. Keep the ball rolling. Let's see what we can do year 5, right?
yes, sir,
Right,
man.
right.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? That I feel like when you're really great at a passion, sometimes you wind up scoring 40,000 points. And
Right.
you know, and you know, Bron, bro, 40,000 points, bro.
It's crazy.
40,000. That's never been done. Like, we are in historic times right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he in his 21st year, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't even think,
2021, man.
yeah, he ain't even
Actually,
40 yet.
I was like, bro, it's crazy. I was in 5th grade when this man was drafted, and he's
That's
still
OD.
playing.
Not only
That's OD.
playing, he's still one of the best players in the league.
Like, bro, what?
Yeah. Bro, all right, so he got in the league averaging 20. Since then, he's been averaging at least 25 a year. Like,
Mhm.
every, like 25 a season, bro. Like,
Word up.
at least.
It's crazy.
You can
When
count on
he's
Brian.
going,
Huh?
when bro is gone, I said, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but when bro gone, we're gonna look at this again and be like, yo, LeBron really not here. This
Yeah.
man ain't even in the finals this year, or we not even gonna beat it. We not even gonna be able to see this man make a chase down block in
Yep.
his fort. Like he almost 40?
Yeah, he'll be
Oh,
40
is it?
this year. He gonna be 40 this year.
That's what I
Woo.
thought. Like he almost 40. Like, bro, like this
Hold
is like
on, hold
Tim
on now.
Duncan age. Like,
He might go to the finals this year. Hold on now. I'm keeping hope alive. You feel me? He
nah,
might be.
definitely this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely this year. But I'm just saying, like, when he out the league, we gonna
Oh,
miss
yeah.
that same like seeing Bron in the. Everybody automatically know Bron gonna be in the playoffs. I don't care if they 0-20 at the beginning of the season. We know he gonna make it happen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he a winner, man. He a winner.
Yeah.
And when I'm looking at that 40K points, it's so hard to fathom because he the only one that's ever done it. What really
Yeah.
blew my mind, I seen something the other day that said he averages a career triple double. He got like 40K points. I think it's 10K rebounds, 11K
Yeah.
assists.
Yeah. Something like
Everybody
that.
talk about it was wild, right? Everybody
Yeah.
talks about the GOAT argument and like what makes what. And for me, it's just so many factors that go into it. It's hard for me to give any type of answer. But one thing I do pay attention to is you gotta respect the guys that never stop dominating. And I mean, not everybody considers basketball before college, but me. If you dominated middle school, you dominated high school, you dominated college, then you get to the league and you're still dominating. There's never been a point in your life where you weren't that dude. So regardless
Yeah.
of system, I feel like I can place you in any era of basketball and you dominate. Let's say you're
Yeah.
somebody that only dominated in one stage of your career. Like let's say you're somebody like a Austin Rivers who dominated in high school, played well in college. He probably believes he would cook in the 90s. I can't sign off on that because he didn't dominate at every stage. So who's to say if you put him at a stage where the game is a little bit different, he would dominate. If you show me a player like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a Wilt Chamberlain, a LeBron James, somebody who never stopped cooking, I gotta give like the upper echelon respect to those guys because you know how hard it is to dominate every level of basketball you play at. Like that's OD.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great point you make, bro. Cause like, you know what I'm saying, these old heads, you making arguments. Oh, Braun can't play in this era, back in previous eras. I would say, like, to me, GOAT isn't just one player, bro. Like, bro, they play in different eras, so it's to judge them head up is crazy because there's no team Jordan has ever faced that was the KD Warriors. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I ain't gonna sit here and cap like Bron went up against defense like the bad boy Pistons. You know what I'm saying? But they was just fouling. You know what I'm saying? So it's
a lot of handshakes, but this man is all of like 250. You know what I'm saying? So
260, 6'9".
the the physicality that he'll be able to bring with handshakes. Oh, best believe LeBron gonna play like that too.
Yeah,
Like,
and
and that's
I never
different.
understood why not.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
And Drake or Mike, whichever one of y'all got the answer. Why do y'all think people think that he couldn't match that level of physicality if they placed him there?
I feel like it's two reasons, bro. One, people hold Jordan in such a high regard, which they should, but for somebody to compare to them, not only compare but to compete, is one thing to compare. They compare him to Kobe is compared to Jordan, but Bron is competing with Jordan. So um, I feel like it's a button of heads. And then number two, I feel like because now it's more cameras out here, people have seen Brian flop. And so people is like, oh, he's soft. But like, bro, he's selling a call, bro. Like Gilbert Arenas broke this down, bro. The stronger you are, bro, the less calls, more likely less calls you're gonna get because they just expect you to shrug it off. You know what I'm saying? Like Shaq probably should have been to the free throw line 30 times a game. You know, who is stopping Shaq, bro?
Like,
You feel me? But
you gotta follow.
you gotta foul him. And if they call 30 free throws on Shaq, it's gonna be a low scoring game. It's gonna be boring. You know what I'm saying? And but people don't use context. They only use emotion. Like, which is cool. But like, bro, that's why like when I talk about who's the GOAT, bro, it's different eras because I can't Will to me is the GOAT. Will and Bill are the GOAT of that era. You know what I'm saying? Right now, each era gets progressively better. You know, it's hard to compare Wilt and Bill to people now. Of course, you put Kyrie in the 60, in the 60s, he might average 60 a game too. He might have 100-point game as well. But you know what I'm saying? That it's an easy what if. So like when people want to discredit Bron for whatever reason, they act like this man sucked. Bron, how can you look at Bron and say he's soft and he sucks? Like
You made a great point.
You're going off of emotion.
Your initial reason, I really think you were onto something with the initial reason you gave. I believe, and this is just something I just thought of, but I believe the envy breeds irrational criticism. That's the best way I can think of in my head. And the reason I say this, I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I keep it short. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. Been listening to him since 2010. Around 2013, 2014, when people started making J. Cole comparisons, I became overly critical of J. Cole as an artist because I was so passionate about Kendrick Lamar. I felt like the comparison just, it put me in a mind state where now I was being overly critical of J. Cole out of defense for Kendrick Lamar. And I realized that that's wrong now. I realized that it was a biased way of thinking. I used to hear, and if you hear my dog in the background going crazy, apologize for it. She is freaking out. I heard that when Tupac was going in the 90s, one of the reasons why he was so strongly disliked is because so many women liked him. And if you have a lot of people that envy you for a certain thing, it's going to breed irrational hate, regardless of how great you are. So people appreciated Pac for how great he was, but they irrationally hated on him because he had something that they envy. I think it's the same thing with LeBron. It's irrational criticism created by envy.
That's true.
I think it's the familiarity of LeBron and how how it's almost easier to get in touch with LeBron than it was to get in contact with
Jordan.
like Jordan and
Yeah.
Kobe.
Yeah,
Even
Kobe
Kobe.
too. Yeah, Kobe
Man.
too.
Like, so you gonna put those people a little bit higher because there's a level of, I guess, mystery coming from that. So you don't really
Excellent
get to
point.
see, you don't get to see into their life a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
because we get to see everything this man do, because he lets us in for real, it's
Yeah.
almost like, oh, he's soft. Like, oh, he's soft. But we never really seen LeBron had to tee up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know what this man will do in certain situations for real, for real. But
Right.
because we seen him be so open to people, we automatically think, oh, he's soft. Because Kobe is jumping out everybody's neck, or Jordan is kicking people out of practice, taking people's shoes, like, because you can't hoop with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bron ain't gonna do that because he a little bit different. That don't mean he's soft. That he's just a
Right.
different person.
What would the mystique around Bron be like if he carried himself like Jokic? How would he be perceived if he just carried himself like Jokic, kind of away from the camera? Or Kawhi Leonard, if he's not interviewed, he's not really in the camera's face, you don't really hear from him like that, no social media presence, no public appearances. If he carried himself like Leonard, but played exactly like LeBron, what do we think his perception would be in the public eye? Because I mean, people love
He wouldn't.
Kawhi. Like, Kawhi can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Like GOAT, like
He
literally
wouldn't
GOAT.
be a good.
We don't have nothing else to see but his game. Like that's it. We don't got nothing else to see but his game.
I I have to disagree, but I get what you said. Opposite reason. He's not the GOAT because we can only see the game. And let me state this. Jordan had commercials. Jordan got the shoes. So Jordan and billboards. So we don't know his personal life, but we seeing commercials with Jordan. We, oh my God, Jordan drinking Gatorade. I want Gatorade. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff. I only seen a few Kawhi commercials my whole life. You know what I'm saying? He got one with the Spurs and he had a New Balance commercial. You know what I'm saying? That's the only two I can think about. Bron been in movies. Bron been in many commercials. Bron got shoes. Bron has a whole brand. You know what I'm saying? Bron's kids is in the national spotlight, you know. So I feel like Jokic ain't being talked about in that light as the MVP because he's not carrying himself as a box office name, you know. So I feel like that is discrediting him, you know. So that's why I disagree.
It's only because of the media. Like that, it's all
Yeah,
about media
Yeah.
presence too. Because
yeah,
that's one of the biggest reasons why I feel like we didn't really get Trey Young in the All Star game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he don't really carry himself uh um like a top, well, what I would call like a top tier player. Even though he is a top tier player, we don't see his face a lot. He's in a quote unquote, I guess you would say, like smaller city as far as like basketball wise.
mhm,
Atlanta really care about football more than they do basketball, so it's not going to correlate the same. But to the point about James, like, I mean, not even James, but Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was like almost like Michael Jackson. The only time we seen Michael Jackson for real outside of his commercial was when he started really getting into the media for bad publicity. My bad. And then that's when his like image started to dwindle a little bit because we got to see a little bit more into his personal life. We
mhm.
didn't really have that with Jordan until I
The
want to
last
say
name.
probably his pops passed,
Oh yeah, well yeah.
like around that time. So we didn't really have a look to see what his personal life is. So the only thing we seen was my bad. The Jordan conversation is like how he is in the locker room and then how he is on court. Like
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
it.
but that
And
that
media
did.
perception is huge.
Mm-hmm. And that
Yeah.
did create a mystique around Jordan. I'm not saying that it was all like Jordan's game or you know what I'm saying, or Jordan was public because there's no way LeBron couldn't have been as public or couldn't have been as less public as Jordan just because of the era we are in, you know what I'm saying? But I would say, like you were saying, DeAjai, like the envy, the extra criticalness is because it's not here and here GOAT debate. It's more so here, and it's kind of LeBron Jordan. It's not like, oh, it's Jordan and then Bron, because if not, it wouldn't be critical like that. I don't see
about to
anybody
be
being,
LeBron.
huh?
Jordan, it's about to be LeBron. Jordan in a minute.
I don't never see nobody be hypercritical of Kobe like that. You know what I'm saying? Because and Kobe's my favorite player. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and say Kobe is not or is better than LeBron, right? But because of context, because people not him because he played with Shaq. But everybody has help. Everybody has teammates, and that's why I don't understand. They act like Jordan played by himself. Jordan missed. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but Jordan did not go to the finals every year. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan had some first round exits. You feel me? But they only talk about the '90s. You know what I'm saying? And but they talk about LeBron's whole career, but they don't talk about how I think his third year he made it to the finals. You
I
feel
think
me?
with this conversation is always going to depend on who you getting your information from. Because I got
Yeah,
to remember that just like it's millions and millions of people who will defend Michael Jordan, there's just millions and millions of people who will defend LeBron using some of the points that have been used here tonight. So I really think the conversation is based
it's
on who you're
preference.
hearing. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like who are you hearing making this opinion? Like, because if you're talking to an older demographic, they're probably going to lean Jordan, and you notice, vice
yeah,
versa. So I definitely think that plays a part. But one thing that it does seem like we all collectively agree on here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that media perception and the way an artist, the way an athlete, the way a person, just regardless of what your career path is, the way you choose to present yourself on social media, regardless of who you are as a person, it is going to impact how people see you.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm a very frequent poster on social media. I can guarantee you it's people who I haven't talked to in 1 or 2 years who have very firm perceptions of me currently solely based off of what they've seen me present on social media. And I
Yeah,
believe that your social media is at least a microcosm of who you are as a person. So I definitely believe that the media is, is is impacting how people approach these players because they get to make a decision of how they feel about you based on how you present yourself. The way Kobe presents himself, you can't put him in any setting where Kobe won't be the most popular kid in the school. It's just how he is. Some people are just naturally that cool. And one thing that I've learned is that people respond to cool.
yeah.
If you an ice cold dude, people just gonna rock with it, and that just is what it is. That's why Playboy Cardi is where he is in life. So I get it, man.
Nah, for sure, bro. But yeah, man, I had to shout out Brian. You know what I'm saying? 40,000 career points. Anybody doing that is an amazing feat. But I don't know if in our lifetime we'll ever see somebody break that unless they let high schoolers in the league again and they averaging 25 off rip. So, but for 20 years.
How did he get that bucket? Like, how did he get that bucket? Was that on a layup? Was it?
That's a good
Was it
question.
on a layup?
I didn't even see it.
See,
Let's see. All right, I'm about to drop the clip right now.
got you.
James against Porter, drive, spins, gets inside.
Hey.
It's
That's crazy.
40,000 for LeBron.
They called it Tom.
The NBA's
Yeah, I think they did call a timeout at one point.
Milestone as the legend of LeBron continues to
Oh,
grow.
they trifling
Over
they
and
called it.
over.
I mean, I get it. If you're comfortable doing it, at least until I'm a certain age in my life, is because I feel like to have that opinion and really be able to stand by it, it's a lot of hoop you have to have watched to be able to defend your
Yeah.
claim. And as far as the NBA is concerned, especially them West Coast games, I'm in bed, bro. Like nine times
Yeah.
out of 10. So I got to do a better job just keeping up with the product from a night to night basis. So when I'm having those type of conversations, it's rooted in fact. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
hey, shout out to Brian. 40K is huge, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
If y'all got some topics y'all want to hear, drop them in the comments.
Yeah.
We'll feature them on the show.
Remember, it's all love, and we out.